Hello, everyone. Welcome to today's live Q&A session. I'm so excited you're here. I'm going to go ahead and get started. So if you jump on a little later, feel free to watch this later. The replay will be on the YouTube or the YouTube channel for Spirituality Simplified, as well as the Spirituality Simplified Facebook group. So welcome to today. I'm really excited about today because we're going to be talking about last week's episode, which was on numerology. So I'm going to answer a question and then actually going to be talking a little bit more in depth about numerology. So we're going to dive a little bit deeper, and today's going to be really fun. I'm excited. I love numerology because this is a great way to really tap into your intuition, your guidance, and connect with your guides and angels, and really do all of that work, but in a fun and playful way. So, as you know, I talk about this all the time, that this is the year for play, for tapping into your inner child. So, numerology is a great way to do that. So, we're going to play a little bit today. I'm going to give you a couple different perspectives on, or actually kind of just dive deeper into a couple of different perspectives for numerology. So let's get started. Again, if you have questions, just feel free to type them in the chat box. And I am using a software called StreamYard. So if you are wanting to ask a question or make a comment, just state your name or allow the software to use your name. If you would like to, or you can remain anonymous. That's fine too. Okay, so one thing I wanted to talk about that we didn't talk about on the episode was master numbers. So we talked about numbers for numerology typically are 1 to 9. Well, there's actually a couple of exceptions. So the master numbers are these very powerful numbers that are meant to symbolize what you are to master in this lifetime. So there's the master numbers are 11, 22, 33, and 44. So these are not meant to be broken down. So as you can tell, they're two-digit numbers. So normally you'd be like 11, 1 plus 1 equals 2. Well, with these, you don't break them down. These are master numbers. So we're going to talk about these 4 different master numbers a little bit more in detail. So let's look at 11. So 11, you probably see that a lot. That's definitely like when you look at the clock at 11:11, it's a very spiritual number. So the number 11 is the master intuitive number. And so this is all about spiritual insight, supernatural abilities, your intuition, sensitivity, making good decisions, patience, respect, empathy, understanding, adaptability, having that clear vision, third eye is kind of what I think of, and inspiration. So what's interesting about this number, so let's say this was your life path number. That would be what you would want to master this lifetime, right? Now, if you break this down, you do get, so 1 plus 1 equals 2. So let's say your birth date it comes down to a numerology number 11. Then you can express it to a 2 to learn the lessons to fulfill this. So, for example, if we look at the number 2, if you remember, 2 is all about duality. It's all about balance, relationships. So, the duality of yin and yang, divine masculine, divine feminine, light, dark, those kinds of things. So, to really master your spirituality and your intuition, and all these qualities that a master number 11 embodies, then your focus can be on understanding and accepting and inviting that balance and duality into your life. So it's having that understanding. Once you really master the understanding of having balance in your life, understanding of bringing in the masculine, divine masculine and the divine feminine to give you that balance, that's going to help you to develop your spirituality and your intuition. So it's really cool. You can kind of break it down a little bit further for each of these master numbers. So if you look at the master number 22, so that's the master builder number. And this is all about facilitating knowledge, high self-esteem, material wealth, taking charge, maybe running a large organization, generosity, making profound changes that later change the course of history, very visionary. I mean, this is a big number. As you can tell, these are very powerful numbers. So to learn to express this master 22 builder number, you can break that down into the numerology, which is 2 plus 2 equals 4, right? So 4, as you recall, is the number for foundation and stability. So to be a master builder, you need to learn how to build that strong and stable foundation, right? So it's beautiful. It all makes sense and it all just, works together, which is really cool. Okay, so let's look at the master number 33. So this is the master teacher. So you think of like Buddha or like a Christ consciousness. It's protection, nature, world harmony, spiritual creation, skilled at focusing the emotions on spiritual purposes. It's modest, humble, charitable, kind, loving. So it's a beautiful number for sure. And so if you break that one down, you get 3 plus 3 equals 6. And 6 is all about family and nurturing and love. So to fulfill your master teacher role, you need to understand and express this 6, the nurturing, the loving side of you. So that's really cool too. So if we look at the master number 44, that's the master feeler number. So this represents strength and, complete mental control, ethics, bravery, courage, discipline, resourcefulness, serving as an example to others, that inner urge to accomplish and accomplish great things, very confident but down to earth at the same time, very connected to nature. So if you break that one down, you have 4 plus 4 equals 8. So 8 is all about abundance and power and material wealth. So to really be able to master and become this master feeler, if you're at 44, then it's important to express and really learn the lessons of the number 8. So that's really cool. I wanted to mention that. I was thinking about that after the episode, and I was like, gosh, we didn't talk about master numbers, and those are really important. They're really big. So those, if you see those numbers a lot, then that might be something to think about. We talked about the synchronicities. If you start seeing these master numbers a lot, that's a big message to you. And especially if that's your life path number, that's pretty cool too. So I did have a question that came in to me, and so I wanted to answer that question. It's a really great question because it's really just kind of asking about like how to use numerology in daily life. So we talked about some different ways in the episode, but I wanted to talk about some other fun ways that you can work with numbers and every day to get that guidance. So, I think you could literally every day look at the date, or even just when you feel called. Maybe it's a special date, and check in on the date, see what the number is, and work with those energies that day. Yesterday was 2/2, February 2nd. So that is it's a portal of energy. And so 22, like we just talked about, that's the master builder number. So that's, taking charge, building the foundation. And then if you look at just the number 2 itself, again, that's balance, the duality, the relationships. So it's interesting too. So you had that yesterday, right? So if you look at today, which is February 3rd, 2021, you break that down to numerology. So you do 2 plus 3 plus 2021. and that equals 2026. And if you break that down, that's 2 plus 2 plus 6 equals 10. And you break that down again, 1 plus 0 equals 1. So today's energy is a 1. So if you think about, today's date, so it's today kind of marks like a renewed energy or kind of this refreshed energy, this new beginnings, right? It also signifies leadership, independence. So you can look at today as maybe the beginning of a new cycle. So, today would be a great day to start a new project or start a new hobby or something. Today's energies would really support taking the lead on a project, for example. Um, Maybe today's the day that you take that first step in a new journey or on a new path. And today might be a good day to create a manifesting ritual. So, life path number 1, that's a really great manifesting number. And we'll talk about in a minute, this relates to the magician and tarot, which is like the ultimate manifester, right? It's the magician. Magic creates magic. So, maybe you want to manifest something into action today. And the number 1 is very confident. It's that leadership. So it's all about confidence and feeling secure with your talents and your abilities and all your beautiful soul gifts, right? So, especially if you're a life path 1, you probably resonate really well today with the energies. You embody these energies. So, what would be really cool is if you are a life path 1, to go into your true self and ask your true self to shine your light really bright today so that we can all feel that too. We can feel your confidence and leadership and energy so that we can capitalize not only on the energies of the whole world today, but all the life path 1s. Like, let's shine your light so we can feel it. um, so if you're kind of putting it all together, right? So we've got yesterday, we got the 2-2 portal. Today we have this energy of the number 1. So you can kind of, if you look at it, yesterday, it's all about kind of building that foundation and finding the balance to prepare for the new journey or path, or project that you may start on today, which is 1 energy. So you can kind of see how you can work with the energies of the dates and see how that goes. And it's just going to help you to flow better. It's going to help you to create and manifest and just feel more connected, and get that guidance you need so that you can maximize your days. So that's just one kind of fun way to, just look at the date, right? So some other things that are kind of fun, let's say you're looking at buying a home. You can look at the numerology for the address. And, for example, let's say you're looking at a house that's 1111 Main Street. Then the numerology would be 4, right? 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 equals 4, which represents, of course, that solid, stable foundation. So that would be a great number for a home, right? Especially, I mean, it kind of depends what you're looking for, right? Like, what do you want out of this home? For example, I did the numerology for our home when we moved to Colorado, and it came out to be a 1. And that totally represents, what this home represents to us. It's a new beginning. We moved to a completely new state. We started a new life essentially here. So that really makes sense. And so, it depends on what you're looking for. And so that might be kind of give you some clues into, is this the home that resonates with me and my energy at this time? So that's kind of fun. Now you can also do with a phone number. So when I started my business, I, registered for a business phone number, and, to see what that number came out to be, which is kind of interesting. And you can actually do numerology with letters. So that's a whole different topic. We're not going to go into that today because it's like you could do a whole session on that. It's not super complicated, it just takes a little while to explain. But let's say like I did it for my business when I started Soul Healing with Allie. So what that came out to was the number 9. So that's all about completion and spiritual and mental achievement, service, love for all, desire to share knowledge with others. I mean, that's exactly what I do with my business. That explains it perfectly. So I thought that was kind of cool. I figured this all out afterwards, but you can maybe, if you're looking to create a business, maybe you create something like whatever energy you're looking for. What do you want out of your business? Do you want freedom and fun and play? Then make up a name that comes to the number 5, so that's kind of fun. You can play with it that way. Another thing too is, if you are with a partner, look at your anniversary date. That's kind of fun because that really signifies what you and your partner are learning together in this lifetime. So that's pretty fascinating to look at. So I hope that answers your question. Just maybe a little more additional information. I mean, really, the thing is, you can use numbers for anything, like anything in your daily life, any kind of number you come across. Stop for a moment and say, okay, what does that represent? What does that mean to me? And do it for anything. I mean, it's have a little fun with it. It's super fun. Okay, so in the last episode, we talked about different ways that numerology is expressed. And one of them that we talked about was tarot. Now, we've had a tarot episode, so hopefully you've listened to that and you kind of have an understanding of, tarot cards and what they represent. So we kind of touched on this a little bit in the tarot episode, but tarot cards have numbers, so they're very closely linked to numerology. Now, I will say it's a little bit different, so I don't want to confuse you, but we'll kind of go through what that looks like. But it is based on numerology as well. So I want to share. This is actually a really cool book. If you love tarot and you love numerology, this is awesome. I'm going to hold it up here. See if you can see it. So, sorry, it's a lot. Who Are You in the Tarot by Mary K. Greer. So, this is a really fun, fascinating book. Oh my gosh, I have so much fun with this. I work with my clients with this. It's really cool. It's fun. So, this kind of talks about a little bit this. I mean, there's so much in this book, but when it comes to numerology, tarot is a little bit different. So, for example, if we're looking at today's energy, which is number 1, right? So, if you look at the tarot deck, the first card is the Magician. So, we talked about this. So, this, as you can see, is labeled up here as number 1. So, it's kind of hard to see with the glare, but so that, there's the number 1. Now, which is interesting is if you like the beginning of a tarot deck in the major arcana, we actually have the Fool. So, but you can see that's the number 0. So it's a little bit different. And the Fool in numerology for tarot cards is actually, it can be the first one, but it's normally 22. So there's 22 cards in the major arcana. So, we talked about numerology, it's the numbers 1 through 9, right? But with tarot, it's numbers 1 through 22. So it's the same concept, it's just a little bit larger numbers to work with. So when you break it down, you want to break it down till you get a number between 1 and 22 when you're looking at the tarot. Okay, so if we look at today, right? If you're like, let's look at we've got today's a 1 energy. It's the Magician. I'll hold it up again. There we go. Pretty cool, huh? Okay, so if today's a 1, you can channel your inner magician, right? which is, magicians are creators. They're manifestors. They are creating the magic that you have the capability, right? Like you have your own inner magician. So, you can ask yourself today, maybe connect with your inner light, your true self, and say, what can I create today? What kind of magic can I create today? Because today's a one energy. So I'm going to channel my inner magician. So that's just kind of a fun way to use the tarot. And one thing that's kind of cool about the tarot cards is they go into your life path information too. So you can kind of figure out based on your life path number which tarot card in the major arcana that it relates to. So let's do an example of that. So let's say your birth date is April 22nd, 1975. So you would break that down. You do 4 plus 22 plus 1975, and that's going to get you 2001. So if you break that down again, you get 2 plus 1 equals 3. So that's your life path number. Now, the third card in the major arcana is the Empress card. So here's the Empress. She's beautiful, amazing. So the Empress, the soul archetype for the Empress is very feminine. It's very much like the creative mother. She's about fertility and love, and she's just like your mom, like she's like Mama Earth, The key words to think about with the Empress: creativity, nurturing, sacrifice, surrender, fertility, imagination, love. And so you'll remember too, so we're talking about the major arcana, but there's also the minor arcana. So those are the suits, right? So we have the cups, pentacles, wands, swords. So if we are looking at the number 3, so we've got in the major arcana, the Empress is the third, but we also have a 3 of wands card, 3 of pentacles, 3 of cups, and 3 of swords. So I'll show you what these look like. So we've got, 3 of wands. There's the 3 of pentacles. We have 3 of cups. And then 3 of swords. So the 3s in the minor arcana represent the gifts, challenges, and opportunities of the principle of love and creative imagination. So that's going to express this Empress, this love, nurturing, right? So the 3s are talking about the gifts and the challenges and the opportunity, right, to express that. So let's take the 3 of Pentacles, for example. Okay, so the pentacles often represent career and money, work type stuff. So if you look at this 3 of Pentacles, okay, I'll just kind of hold it up here. Okay, so the gifts of creation and love that this card represents is it can represent your love of your work. And it really represents the strength in, working together to create amazing things. So that's where like your gifts and strengths come in with this. Now, the challenges of creation and love is that the thought that you have to do everything on your own. Like if in your work or if you own your own business, so that can lead to being a workaholic, which can in turn stifle your creativity and any kind of chance for a decent relationship for love, right? Like being a workaholic is rough because you're spending so much of your focus and time only on that. And that stifles your creativity. It doesn't allow you that time and space to do that or to develop any kind of, love relationship. So where the opportunity comes in with this is, where you can really capitalize on this is to share your work with others, work on a team, delegate a little bit. This is going to allow you to express your nurturing Empress side, while also freeing up the time and the space for, your creativity and any kind of creative endeavors. And of course, time and space to be with loved ones or develop relationships, right? So you can kind of see how this works. It's pretty cool. It gets, again, this book goes into a lot more and makes a lot of sense. But you can see where working with the numerology within the tarot gives you even more information. You can work with just the numbers, but if you want to go even deeper into your own study, into your own life and your purpose and your life path here, and working with them on a daily basis, like definitely I recommend and encourage that. It's pretty cool. So I just wanted to kind of talk about that. And then one more thing too. I have, of course, I'm obsessed with oracle cards. So of course I have the numerology deck. I think I've mentioned this a few times, but it's the numerology guidance cards by Michelle Buchanan. These are really fun too. So if you enjoy numbers and you want to kind of play with it and maybe see which number you're resonating with for the day, maybe look at these oracle cards. They're super fun. They look like this and they're beautiful, pretty purple. You can just kind of see like, what do I need to know today? Let's see. What do we need to know today? Okay, this is kind of fun. Oh, it's probably reading my energy, but teaching and learning, 57. I definitely feel like, I'm teaching today. And of course, I'm always learning and helping others to learn as well. So, it's interesting. You can kind of look these are fun because they'll, have their own meanings that you can look up in the book, but then you can look at the number like 57. So that breaks down to 12. So that would be 1 + 2 = 3. So 3 is all about creation, right? It's about joy and play and artistic endeavors, social, it's imaginative. So this is, I feel like this correlates so well with what we're doing right now, right? Like we're learning through play and doing fun things and being interactive and working with cards and tarot cards and trying new things. So yeah, I feel like this is a great representation of that. So that can help you. This is kind of like a reassuring card, for me today and for you too. But it might be something that helps guide you. Like maybe that's what you need to focus on that day so you can capitalize on that for you. So these are really fun. Again, numerology guidance cards, Michelle Buchanan. So feel free I think I got these on Amazon. You can go there or hayhouse.com. They have tons of oracle cards. So I think that's pretty much it for today. I hope you had fun today. I had a really good time. I hope this was like a fun and engaging way to kind of bring more clarity on how to work with numbers every day and not be intimidated by them. I think that's the key. Like, and I talked about in the episode too, I am not a numbers person at all. But this is fun for me. This is like the magic and the mysticism behind numbers, which of course I'm going to love. But it makes it a little more fun and less intimidating. And it can really help you. It's just another way, again, to connect with your light, connect with your spiritual guidance, and really connect with the universe. It's amazing. So, of course, if you have any additional questions after watching this in the episode, you feel free to message me. You can post in the Facebook group or post on the YouTube channel. I definitely want to answer any questions, even if you weren't able to make it live. But thank you for everyone who did make it live today. And I want to let you know that I'm so excited. I mentioned this last week, but tomorrow we have a new episode coming out. And I'm so excited because it's on mediumship. And I have a special guest, Jennifer Smith. She's my friend. We are spiritual soul sisters. And she is going to be talking about mediumship. So she's a professional medium and healer. And we have such a great time, such a great conversation, and she can help you to understand exactly what mediumship is and see if it resonates with you. Mediumship is really important. It can help you to connect with your past loved ones, and maybe you're still grieving and you need some peace and comfort. Seeing a medium and connecting with your past loved ones can provide that. So maybe that's something that you look into. So excited about that. That's going to be coming out tomorrow. So definitely tune in for that. And of course, Jennifer has agreed to come on to our Wednesday live Q&A session next week. So if you have any questions for her, do you want to ask live? She will be available. So I'm excited about that. And I think that's about it. So thank you again so much. Thanks for playing with me today. And, try it out. Try working with numbers. Let us know how it goes. I want to know what fun, ahas and inspiration that you've gained from working with numerology. Okay, well, thank you so much again. I hope you have a great rest of your day and a beautiful rest of your week. Bye, guys.